You know, and I think that's it's interesting to think about how much. This is actually an example in the UK where they were they did a test to pad the poles because people were actually running into the street poles because they were walking. At least they were on the sidewalk, walking into the poles. Raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. Raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever sort of walked into something, almost walked into something, tripped, had something like that happen, where you found yourself kind of going, you know, you were trying to do this. You were trying to multitask, right? And I see many of you are willing to confess. Okay, now, I'm going to really get in your face right now and ask how many of you are multitasking right this minute. I want you to tell me in the question box how many of you are multitasking. Just type yes. Stop multitasking for a moment and type yes in the box. And boy, I can tell you, okay, a few people, thank you, are saying no, yes, and no, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so see how many of you are doing that? So this is true. This is true. So many people are spending their time multitasking. And Linda Stone did some fabulous research on continuous partial attention. We do not have full attention when we're multitasking. It is not always the best choice. As a matter of fact, you can have a 50% increase in errors, and it can take 50% longer to complete the task. And so we get a little squirt of dopamine when we do this. Our brains love it. We get very excited when we get that little ding of a new email coming in, or we jump off and look at our Facebook, you know, how many people have like reacted to something, or whatever it might be. So our brains get seduced in. This is one of the biggest impediments to productivity. And even though younger generations may be a bit faster at it, our brain is literally a serial processor. It cannot function at its greatest effectiveness. The best you're going to get is that unconscious patterned reaction when you are in a multitasking mode. So don't kid yourself. Now, is it realistic to say you're not going to multitask? Absolutely not. But don't kid yourself into thinking you're going to be as effective. And guess what? Raise your hand if you